Hi guys, welcome to another video. We've lost the 200 moving average on the Bitcoin's weekly chart, and these guys are still talking about a soft landing. The recession is very likely. They can't control this economic slowdown. Things are looking very bad, and the Fed is gonna be here soon. Talking about Fed, it's not gonna be long. They're gonna be here on Wednesday. They're gonna announce what the new rate hike is gonna be. It's going to be 75 bps or 100 bps. Well, any of them is not going to be good for the markets and the economy. Plan B shared a very interesting data on the distribution of Bitcoin. 60% people are holding BTC at an average price of $8,000, while the 40% are holding at around $43,000. Makes everything very bearish, especially for the ones who are holding around $43,000. Everybody gotta be in some kind of loss. Hopefully they are doing DCA. Now let's look into our charts. First thing first, let's get into our DXY chart, one of the most important charts right now. This was the reason I was saying that we might not have downside or an upside that we are expecting. Can't be too bullish or too bearish. It's just been sideways, just trading around at 106.810 until or unless we don't see a big move coming here. We can't have confirmations where the market is heading, especially for Bitcoin and Ethereum. USDT's dominance, the single most important indicator right now. This one has come back, had a few retests of the green box, but had a quick upside on the downside of BTC that we saw after losing the weekly candle. And now we're seeing a quick upside on this one, facing resistance from 6.75%, but likely is gonna break above or maybe see a downside. A few more hours and the Fed rate hike is gonna give us further direction. So it's not reasonable right now to share with you guys altcoins information and their trade setups, because anything is possible. Let's get in the BTC USDT's 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, we had a bearish divergence here, and clearly after that bearish divergence, we lost our 50 MA on the 4 hours, and we are now trading in this range. We have hit all the way to $21,721. Likelihood this is gonna become a resistance again if we are heading upwards. And if you want to check out the volume, I don't think there's much volume right now in the market, so we would like to see bigger volume coming in. It's Monday. That big volume could bring some kind of an upside and probably break above this and come back into the 22,000s range, but right now that's not happening. There's two sides right now in the market that we can expect, especially on the 4 hours. We could either have a path directly retesting this area for us and then this area, which is around $20,500, or we could also experience an upside movement which could just bring us back into this area and then heading to 23,000 for a retest. So we have to just hold on, wait exactly where the market is going to head. We have to also look into what the Fed is going to say. So there's a longer waiting game right now for us, especially in Bitcoin. If we look into Ethereum USDT 4-hour chart, so Ethereum's chart is looking very good, better than what we're seeing in BTC. We have lost our resistance and we got rejected from here, from the same resistance zones. We've been rejected for 1, 2, and 3 times. So this was our third rejection. Came down straight into our 50 MA on the 4 hours, taking support from that 50 moving average for now. But here we could also have two scenarios to play out. Anything is possible because obviously once the Fed come, anything can happen. So we can have this as the first point if we do go down, and then obviously test out our 200 moving average. This could be one scenario that we need to play out, or the other scenario is that we break above the 1700s and then likely head into the 1800s. That doesn't look like that's going to be happening right now, so we just have to wait out. Even if you want to look into volume, especially on the 4 hours, the volume is in there. We've had more bearish candles than the bulls candles, so we would like to see more bullish candles if you want any kind of confirmation. I feel kind of bearish right now, but let's see what happens in the next 24 hours to 48 hours. Let's get in the BTC USDT's 1-day charts. On the 1-day chart, we did break above the critical zone on the daily, and right now we've been just sideways trading in this channel. We are taking support from the 50 MA for a very long time on the daily charts, which is not a good sign. If we do lose support, obviously the 4 hours targets will come into play into our daily charts as well. Not really looking good right now. Ideally we want to break above and come into the bearish worst case scenario, have a good retest of the critical zone on the daily levels and then head higher. But if we look into the RSI, it's already at 50, so likely we're going to dump slightly more, maybe dump for the next 2 days, and then after the Fed have announced the rate hikes, then probably we could pump. But let's see how that's going to play out, because the 4 hours is what I am thinking right now, and those are the possibilities I've shared with you guys. Now we get into the Ethereum USDT's daily charts. On the daily chart, we are forming a bearish divergence. Let me zoom into it. So if you look into that bearish divergence on the candles, we are having a higher high, but on the RSI we're having a lower high. So that's gonna be a very big bearish divergence on the daily that's gonna play out. And overall, if we look into volume on the daily, it's not right there. We want to have more volume to break above on the daily time frames. We're still facing resistance from our worst case scenario, which also I showed you on the 4-hour chart, that there's the resistance on the 4-hour that we are failing to break above. So if we do successfully break above, the merge news, all the hype around ETH right now would actually have a 50-50 chance that it could pump, or 50-50 chance that we're gonna dump. So if we do dump, obviously we're gonna come back into this range, have a retest on the daily time frames. But overall, let's see whether we're gonna break above or not. This is gonna be a very important week. Fed have a rate hike announcement. Let's get into the 5-year cycle top and bottom chart on the weekly for BTC. So if we zoom in a bit on the 200 moving average, we are right now trading just below the 200 moving average. The 200 moving average is around 22,786. So it's going to be acting as a resistance for us. If we do see any kind of upside, we need to break this obviously and close above this, because that will be something of a good sign for us right now in this bear market. That likely that could have been the bottom around $17,000. But if we don't see that, then there increases the chances, increases the possibilities for us to see further downside, which is a bad sign. Obviously we all want to see big upsides coming into BTC and make some good profits. Let's get into big data on gate.io. So on the gate.io's big data on greed and fear index, we're at 30 levels in fear. We get long and short ratio global data and block trades, pretty even Stevens, not much action. But in 1 hour in block trades, we have 67.05% people in long positions. So people are opening long positions right now. They expect some kind of a really bounce. If you look into the funding rate for BTC, it's negative. Market sentiment is neutral, which is good. Ethereum's market sentiment neutral, funding rate positive, and an idle place of 0.0100%. Let's get into gate.io's startup blockchain project discount. So we're going to be having new projects starting TomTom coins in about 16 hours. You can get into it. This is going to be a very good project. We did suggest you another project that was Amazing Team DAO. It's going to be starting a newly listed in 1 hour and 10 minutes. So you have to aim into it. If you're a VIP member, you should have got into it in the startups. If you aren't, then you have to wait here. Just wait for 1 hour and 10 minutes and then you can buy here. Likely going to be seeing a big upside coming into this one too. This is going to be an eventful week. We're going to hear what the Fed have to announce, whether 75 BPS, 100 BPS, and then obviously we have all the companies sharing their earnings. It's the end of Q2. So let's see where the markets are going to take that, how everybody's going to accept what the Fed is going to announce. Probably it's going to be bullish, probably it's going to be bearish. But if you look into ebisusbay, Apes Utopia have already started the mint. So I would request you guys, if you were a whitelist member, you need to get in there and mint one of your apes, because time is running out. Because if the mint finishes, then you won't be able to join us. So that's all for today's video, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you do, smash the like button, share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to click on that button and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be back in here soon. Take care, guys. Bye bye.